Welcome back. Centre Parcs Longford Forest is celebrating its grand opening on Monday with 5 activity-centred villages across the UK. It's already a huge success over there and they've just brought it here to Ireland. And
there's loads to get up to with the children, of course. Up to 100 indoor and outdoor activities amongst 400 acres of woodland. Wow. We can go live to Anna now, who's there to find out why families are enjoying it so much. Anna.
Hi Laura, thank you guys. Yes, we are here at the official launch weekend at Centre Parcs, Longford Forest. And what a special weekend it is, with a lot of special families here. It officially opens on Monday, by the way, to the public. But right now, we're joined by, of course, friend of the show, Suzanne Kane. Good morning to you, Suzanne. And we have 2 families here. We have 2 mums, Debbie and Vicky, with, easy to remember, I have a James, and we're joined by 2 Jameses here this morning as well. And we'll talk about their story and their experience. But first, Suzanne, the official launch event took place last night here at the lake. How did you find the whole thing?
Unbelievable. Do you know what? There's been so much hype, hasn't there? Because obviously you've been filming in the UK and then you've been down filming as well, of course, for the big launch that's happened this weekend. And everyone's talking about it. Forget Maura from Love Island. It's all about Centre Parcs and Longford.
Well, Maura's from down the road.
I know, sure, listen, the locals telling me all of getting all the gossip. I'll tell you about that the other day. But honestly, the hype around it has been a lot. And when we talk about a lot of hype as well, about an event or something happening, you kind of go, will it live up to it? Anna, you've been here, you guys have been here. It is above and beyond. And last night, the fireworks, the storybook, we had fairies and we went through the forest with them, the lights, the kids, like my kids are 2.5 and 4.5, and I went, we'll never stay up that late. Wrong. Field on ice cream, and just sheer joy, and the atmosphere around all the way through the village is unbelievable. There's so much to do, and it's that moment of, you go from one to the next that you go, I love this, and and the kids are entertained. And the one thing I've noticed, which I've never experienced before, is it's so family orientated. Yes. Nothing is a problem. Everybody wants to help. Everywhere you go is ready for the kids. They want to help you as much as you want to get around. And that's kind of really special, especially in Ireland, for something to be so family focused. We're having a ball. And by the way, I'm on a bike. I cycled here this morning. I don't want to go on about it.
We're never going to hear the end of this,
no, you told me I had to.
She looks very fit, but the reality is she hasn't cycled in I don't know how long. Her body's gone into shock.
I won't even tell you about the parts that hurt.
No, please don't. It's too early for that. But I actually thought what's lovely, it reminded me of the bikes thing, is that the cars leave. Yes. So it's car free.
Completely car free.
You've less stress worrying about what your children are about to do on those bikes.
Yeah.
Because it is so family friendly.
Yeah, and we took a punt. We brought Oisin's bike down our 4.5 road, bought his bike with us. But this is his first bit of freedom, because he's usually just on the road where you're like, oh, don't go far. Whereas he's now like terrorising the highways and byways of the village. If you see a green bike with a green helmet, that's my child.
He's not alone. He's not alone. He's in good company.
But again, there's no worry. There's absolutely no worry, because everybody, the atmosphere across the weekend is unbelievable, and it feels like there's so much space, nothing to worry about, and that you feel really relaxed. It's an atmosphere I've never experienced before, and in fairness to Centre Parcs, they're absolutely nailing it so far.
Yes, okay, well that is a very positive review from Suzanne. Vicky, I'm going to jump over to you, because you didn't enjoy the launch event last night, because yourself and James came from the hospital. Now you're here because, of course, you're linked with Barretstown, who are Centre Parcs' chosen charity. So tell us about your experience.
Barretstown has been incredible. James was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, an autoimmune condition, 4.5 years ago, and it was a big blow to us as a family. I was pregnant on my second son, Tom, at the time, and our world kind of turned upside down with new regimes of medication and I suppose the shock of your child being unwell. And at the time we were given the opportunity to go on a family weekend to Barretstown.
Yes.
And when I say it completely changed our outlook, and it changed James's ability to just participate and just be seen as James and not James with all these other conditions going on as well.
Of course.
And it gave him huge confidence. He's gone on weeks away down there on his own. He's met James, double trouble, and it's just given us a new perspective. And I suppose their motto is serious fun, and that's exactly what it's given us. So we do our best to try and support them as much as we can, because James is a camper. I'm a camper. His brother Tom sees the castle, a castle, any castle. Is that Barretstown, Mom? Are we going to Barretstown? So it's not only been amazing for James, but it's been a huge part for all our family. My dad's here this morning, my husband, my sisters, my nieces, and I suppose it brings in fun to the whole family while leaving illness at the door, the red door.
Now you're leaving illness at the door, but but unfortunately James is going back to Crumlin
He is,
Hospital
yeah.
later on today.
Yeah,
So you have a
James.
short window
Yeah.
to enjoy this, James, today. Are you looking
Yeah.
forward to it?
Yeah,
Yes.
Was it important to you to come down?
yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah, and
was.
the nurses and doctors were all incredible in making sure we had a chance to get out this morning and enjoy a few hours down here.
Well, I'm going to talk to your buddy over here, who you met at Barretstown. And as Mum said, double trouble. So we have Debbie and another James over here. Debbie, tell us about your experience of Barretstown and indeed Centre Parcs today.
Yeah, well, 2.5 years ago, James was excitedly awaiting the birth of our fourth son, who we had, and called him Oscar. And for 2 weeks it was amazing. But then when Oscar was 2 weeks old, James was diagnosed with leukemia ALL. So we went straight into the hospital. He had to have a Hickman line and everything put in, and straight onto chemotherapy and blood transfusions and platelets. So, we kind of went from being an outdoorsy family to literally just going from the house to the hospital. His health deteriorated very rapidly. When he was supposed to be in his last month of 6th class, he was in the wheelchair and in the hospital, and he basically only made one last day of primary school. So he got quite down and he felt alienated from all his friends. We weren't going out anywhere bar the hospital, so we were offered the place at Barretstown for a week for James. We were a bit worried at the time because he was so sick, but because they have the med shed there, we were able to still have his chemotherapy done through the IV and have his bloods drawn and taken and everything. So he went off for the week, and when we collected him, he was just a different child to what we had dropped off, because he was smiling, he was laughing, he was with James, of course. They were very, very, happy and cheeky, and since then he kind of said, he was the one who told us that he had such a great time at Barretstown that what we needed to do was stop just letting his diagnosis rule him.
Yes.
That he was going to decide when he was going out, and then, when he was sick, he would spend that time in hospital, and when he wasn't, he was going to make use of his time. So that's what we've
Enjoy
done,
himself.
really.
That's a great attitude from a very brave boy, isn't it?
The whole family has benefited, so.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned to me earlier on, Debbie, and it's so true, as did Vicky, illness can take over not just your life, and not just your life, James, but the whole family. So it's
siblings,
important
yeah.
to escape and have fun, which you're definitely doing. I believe you guys are palling around with Ali Sherlock this morning. A little bit of giddy laughter going on here. So they are double trouble, I think, aren't they? Well, we're glad you're enjoying every aspect of Centre Parcs. Thank you for joining us, guys. We hope you have a brilliant time here. Mums, thank you indeed. And Suzanne,
We're
lots
ready
of
to go.
activities planned?
Yeah, you can probably hear my kids shouting in the background. We have an appointment with the subtropical swimming pool very shortly, so if you don't mind, if our man's to get on and get myself ready,
Gotta
I
check
bought a
the thrill
swimsuit.
levels.
I bought it. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's perfect.
Yeah, no, it is.
We're
It's
good. I'll
gorgeous.
be on the
Very
lazy
warm.
river by 12:30.
Right, lots more to come from Centre Parcs in Longford Forest. Stay with us.
Lovely, looks
Heading off the
spectacular.
subtropical swimming pool.
How nice
We
of a
should, go on,
Saturday.
we should go and have a dip in our pool here.
Well, we look forward to more from Anna later on
Exactly.
down at
After the
Centre
break,
Parcs.
we're channeling our inner Wurzel Gummages when we're building our own